Good morning, it's Michelle, and I am the founder of Healthy Beat Nutrition. I am a registered holistic nutritionist, and I specialize in women's health, working with women that have perimenopausal and menopausal symptoms, and also PMS symptoms. So, if you have some symptoms where you're having trouble sleeping, you're starting to get hot flashes, your periods are starting to become irregular, even experiencing hair loss, irritability, moodiness, cry easily. I used to do that very frequently before I started to work on my hormones. Bloating, I mentioned insomnia, trouble sleeping, fibroids, uterine problems. It can really be affected by your hormones. So all of those issues the hormones are at play. So I wanted to talk about a few foods that are really good for supporting your hormonal system. And one of them is fermented foods. Now, I've talked about fermented foods before. We've got things like your kefir, your kombucha, your sauerkraut, fermented vegetables, even fermented cheeses, like the hard cheeses that have been aged for quite a while. Even wine is fermented, so having a glass of wine every now and then is okay. It's just in excess is not good. So I'm actually going to be making with you today some fermented green beans. So fermented vegetables, as I mentioned. So why fermented foods are really good is it actually feeds your microbiome in your gut. And your gut really does have a direct connection to how the rest of your body feels. The vagus nerve is connected from your gut to your brain. So in actuality, when we feel moody, there's a lot of studies out there now about how even depression, anxiety, and different possibly mental disorders are due to an imbalance of the microbiome in our guts. So it's really important that we support our gut systems. And it has a direct correlation to the hormones that we produce as well. So that's where the connection is with our hormonal system. So that's what I wanted to do today. And also at the end of the video, I'll just let you know that there is a resource that I have, and I'll tell you how to get that at the end of the video. That will explain a little bit more about other fermented foods. And I have a cat down here that's meowing and saying hello this morning. Hello. Hello, Olivia. Anyways, so I've already prepped everything here for the fermented beans. So I'll just move the camera here and I'll show you what's going on. So I've already cleaned some green beans, fresh green beans that I got at one of the local farms. They don't spray, so less pesticides and herbicides. If you can get organic, no spray vegetables, that is preferable. Again, any sort of toxins that we put into our bodies, our liver has to deal with the toxins. So we want to make sure that we try and eat as clean as possible. So fermented vegetables. So some green beans in a quart jar. And you can, use any spices that you want. I'm going to use garlic because I love garlic. And just plunk in some garlic here. There we go. I should have put them at the bottom, but I wanted to show you guys. Just shove those in a little bit. Some red pepper. A little bit of red pepper flakes. Now, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of spices, so I'm just putting in a few. Some actual whole pepper, black pepper, so about a teaspoon of that. And then, of course, you want to put some dill in. Dill is also another really good food for your hormones. So, I'll just shove the dill in. So the key with fermented vegetables, it's not canning, so you're not pickling. You're actually putting in salted brine. So, oh, and I almost forgot, a little baggie of black tea. So it's a tannin, and what the tannins will do is actually keep your vegetables more crisp. So I just did some fermented dill pickles, and they're fermenting right now, but oh, they're just so good. I haven't tried green beans before, so this is a bit of a experiment as well. So to make salted brine, this is just a liter of water with about 2 to 3 tablespoons of sea salt. You want to make sure you use sea salt. You don't want iodized salt because that actually won't ferment as well. So using fresh sea salt. And then you just pour the brine into your vegetables and making sure that the vegetables are covered. Yes, Olivia. About a ½ inch to an inch of water. Now I probably should have pushed this down further too. Let's just see if we can get that in there further. Want to make sure everything's covered. If your vegetables do float, you can actually put what's called a pickle pebbles, and basically it's a weight that you can put. Now I can't actually use it in this jar because this is a very old-fashioned jar from one of my grandmothers and it doesn't actually fit. You can get smaller ones or larger ones. This is for the large jars, but I don't have any more of those left. But this is actually okay. So now there's 2 ways you can do it. You can either close the lid with a tight seal, and in that case you would have to go each morning and just crack the seal a little bit to let the bubbles escape. So what's going to happen when the vegetables start to ferment, the actual bacteria in the food are actually going to create bubbles and gas. So that's what actually causes the fermentation, the natural fermentation process. But the other thing you can do is just put a coffee filter on with an elastic band, and this allows the air to escape. Now this will just go into your cupboard at room temperature. You want to do it in the dark if possible. I just put it in a closed cupboard and then watch it for 7 to 10 days. Now depending how warm it is in your house, it could go faster, it could go slower. And just check it, you know, if you feel like you want to see what it tastes like, just pull one out and taste it. And they should be nice and crunchy, full of beautiful natural bacteria that are going to help your gut system. So that's it for the quick little demo. I mentioned that I wanted to tell you a little bit more about some other foods. So there's quite a few other foods that are very important for your hormonal system and that can support you along your journey. And I have a free resource on my website, healthybeet.ca. That's HEALTHYBEET.ca. And you can download my free resource, and that will show you, give you some other examples of other beautiful natural foods that will help your hormonal system. There's nuts and seeds, there's lots of fibrous foods. So it's a really great resource. And of course, I'm here to help too. So ask me any questions that you have. I'd be happy to answer them. And you can find me on Facebook at Healthy Beet Nutrition, as well as Instagram, Healthy Beet Nutrition as well, and my website. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm rambled on a little bit, my apologies, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.